It's a new day.
This is New Day Northwest. Now from the Primera Blue Cross Studio, here's Margaret Larson.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to New Day Northwest. First up today, living here in the Northwest, farm-to-table foods and gifts are very popular. We're about to learn how you can incorporate that theme into a summer party. Here to show us how is Rebecca Grant from New Creations Weddings. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You have the freshest things here.
I try, yeah.
Very farm-to-table.
Yes.
So show me what you brought.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we like to really incorporate is really, and becoming a priority for our events as well as our couples for weddings, is really incorporating farm-to-table overall experience. So what I wanted to showcase is that you can make this a centerpiece. You do not need to worry about having traditional flowers and whatnot for your event.
I think that's lovely.
And so, like, look how gorgeous this is with all of the array of colors, really featuring kind of what's going to potentially be in your menu as well.
You have
and
some
being able to,
seeds.
right. And so, like, a lot of the seed packets here on the place setting that I have can double as a favor. And so what I've got here is just, of course, like an idea for a centerpiece, incorporating apples and eggs and grapes and whatnot, and then the actual place setting itself with a little edible flower. You want to be sure that all of your produce is edible that you are featuring on your plate. And then here I've had letters by Ellen. She's a calligrapher.
She did such a good job.
She wrote your name on an egg, and that's going to be our place card marker for each place setting.
Isn't that amazing?
And then, as I mentioned, you can also create a little seed packet as a favor takeaway for your guests.
So I can eat my flour, or I can take it all home and put the flour in a salad, but there's nothing wasted in any of that.
And one of the things you really want to be careful about if you are growing your own flowers is that they are pesticide free.
Okay.
You want to make sure that you're using organic fertilizer, organic, just as natural as possible, because obviously you want to take care of your guests, and you want to make sure that they are not, you know, ingesting pesticides. So
let's talk about the honey.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually from my bees. We have 3 apiaries up in my house in Snohomish. So these, again, I had Letters by Ellen create these super cute little saying tags. Thanks for buzzing by, and thanks for being a guest. And so just really great favors that you can just throw a piece of twine around, incorporate the tags, throw a couple little flowers on it, and you have a beautiful guest takeaway at the end of your event.
They're not all exactly the same color.
No.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the darker color comes from the older comb. And so the older and more established hives tend to have the darker colors, and the lighter ones tend to be the newer colors.
Interesting.
And
do they taste different?
They do. I personally prefer the darker. I think it has a lot more just richer flavor to it, more of like an amber, rich, deep flavor to it.
Gosh, it looks so good.
And a lot of beekeepers do actually harvest at specific times of year. We do not, just we want to keep as hands-free off of our hives as possible. So that's why we do get the variation in color versus what you might see at a farmer's market where some colors are darker, some colors are lighter. It's because they're harvesting at specific times after that bloom of that flower is over.
That is interesting. That must be such fun.
It's fun.
I would
It's a
love
lot
to
of
have
fun.
bees.
It's a really fun hobby. So one of the other things that I wanted to show for you guys is when you are doing edible flowers and you don't want to worry about cutting these the morning of your event, you actually can keep them, you can cut them up to a week in advance. Just put in a moist paper towel in a bowl with a lid and keep it in your fridge for up to a week. And again, you can do microgreens and edible flowers in there.
That is so
And then
cool.
once you're ready to use it for your event, you can again either use it on your place setting right here, or you can just plop it in one of your signature cocktails and have a beautiful edible flower right as a garnish on top of your drink glass.
That's great.
And your guests can not only enjoy a beautiful cocktail, but they can also enjoy a little munch on a flower after the
And then if you have
their
clear
drink
or
as
white
well.
plates, you've done all the color you need to do for something like that.
Yeah.
I love your metal
Thank you.
rooster. I think roosters are very important to have around just to remind us of what's going on. Now, what's happening here?
So this is an idea for a garden centerpiece. So if you're having a summer garden party or if you're having a 4th of July party, I mean, how great to be able to have both an edible centerpiece as well as have it be just really natural and organic and plop it on your table. You could even potentially put some of your utensils in here. Just make it the full, you know, full centerpiece. Think outside the box besides flowers. Not everything has to be flowers. So one of the things that I've done down here is both, again, what might be featured on your menu, as well as, again, some edible flowers that are marigolds. And one of the things that you can do is you could potentially have your guests take these marigolds and create their own flower pot. And again, that could be a potential favor takeaway.
That's a
And
great
you
idea.
could even potentially
name.
decorate or put their name on it, or have that be a project at your party. And then they can take that away along with their jar of honey.
What's the easiest way if you're going to paint the pot or put a name on it? What's the easiest stuff to use?
So tempera paints would probably be the best option if you're going to be painting it. Something that is a water-based, especially if you're working around children.
Yes.
But do keep in mind that water-based paints, of course, if you do have your flower pot outside, potentially the rain could make it run. So have it be a covered area that you're putting your flower pot in, or something that is indoors.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
And again, everything in here could be used or taken home or whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
I love the little caddy too, because you
Yeah.
can use that over and over
Exactly.
again, make it as different as you
Yeah.
want, and again, not overuse things or have things to
Right.
throw away. So how do we
I've-
finish it off?
I've already created kind of the bottom
Yeah.
section for you. So I'm actually going to have you take this bowl of fruit and veggies that I have going on, and I want you to finish up this centerpiece. Just kind of, there's no right or wrong rules. Start
That's
with the bigger
good.
pieces first, and then kind of throw the things that tend to cascade down, possibly in the front. Mix up the colors a little bit and just create something really fun and organic. There's some rainbow chard back here as
there
well,
is.
which
Oh my
has
gosh.
beautiful color to it.
I think I will use that in the back a little bit. This chard looks great.
Yeah.
And so even after you've handled all of this, you can just wash it off and use it, right?
Absolutely,
We can do
yeah.
whatever we
and
want to
again,
with
using
it.
really natural fertilizer, pesticide-free garden as well is something that you really want to make sure is something that's a priority to you. And if you do supplement with anything from the grocery store, make sure you wash it really, really well.
Now, in terms of seeds, how do you choose what you might want to give out so that people can use them?
So things that you want to try and look
I'm
for.
actually making it look nice from my side. I should probably think about what the front of it looks like.
Right.
All right, let's try that a little better.
Yeah, seeds you
Not
want to.
bad, not too bad.
Any local garden store should be able to tell you what can grow in the Pacific Northwest. So we have a very specific growing region, and with the rain, of course, and with our kind of temperamental faux summers that come in the spring.
They're
so we
here,
get
they just come and go, that's all.
We get a really hot spring sometimes, and then it cools way, way off. So you just want to look for things that are specific to your zone, and then if you don't have if you don't know what your zone is, just always ask your local gardener, and they will be able to tell you. I chose seed packets that I personally like the colors of,
Yes,
because
well,
it
they're
incorporated
gorgeous.
into the overall theme and overall
Can we
event.
also ask when we go to buy the seeds, like what would grow in a pot? Because I don't know
Yes.
who's got room for what, but
Right.
you know, pretty much everybody can plant something
For
in a
sure.
pot.
And you also want to make sure that if you are planting outside in a raised bed or in your garden or whatnot, that they play nice together. Some things don't interact well, and so asking your local, garden expert on what seeds will help cross-pollinate as well as will grow well together, all the better. So
Very
there's
good.
tons of experts out there. Feel free to ask them.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it.